if you've been through the arbitration process and you've won your claim, what happens next? How do you secure your money? How long does that take, etc.?
Well, what you have to do once you have an award in your favour, you have to go and execute the award to in the local courts to get your money. So that is a process which has been it's been eased somewhat with the new arbitration law, in that you go to the Court of Appeal first. You don't have to go into the court of first instance as you used to execute the award, and then assuming it's here in the UAE. The great thing about arbitration, though, however, is that if your opponent is an international company, you can actually take that award and go to their home country and execute the award in their home country, which you can't do if you get a court award in your favor unless there is some sort of bilateral agreement.
That's pretty interesting, because often people are afraid in the event of a company going bust, or in the event of them losing a major case, that they will just try to skip and leave. But if you can take that with you and track them down as such, it gives it more value.
It depends on the party you're contracted with, right? So if it's a company that's here, then more likely you won't be able to do that. But if it's a branch company, you can.
Okay.
But the thing that
if it's a company that's here who has closed the door and escaped? So is that
you're in trouble. You're in big trouble.
It's good to know, isn't it? So if you feel that risk is in the horizon, at least you make the effort and the steps in place to mitigate it.
Yeah. I mean, they would have given you signs before that to see, and the lawyers should have been a little bit more savvy, or at least been up to understanding what that party's situation was, either when they started arbitration or even in the course of the arbitration process. But once you get the arbitral award, like Michael said, you would go to, let's say hypothetically, Dubai courts, because the entity is in Dubai, and you would go to the appeals, and then once the judgment is issued from the appeals, which takes about 30 days or so, depending on if there's a challenge or not, you go to the execution court, and the execution court allows you, given UAE law, gives the execution judge a few remedy options, from imposing travel ban, actually fining anyone, including the managing director of that company, I think 1,000 dirhams a day, if I'm not mistaken, if he's refusing still to pay the judgment, or the execution order, I should say. And
does the interest keep going?
Oh yeah, since the day of the award.
Okay. And interest levels in this country tend to be
9%. 9%.
Yeah, the law says up to 12%, but in reality, 9% seems to be fixed, and it's simple interest. It's not compound interest.
But if you have payment certificates, though, right? The lawyers in your case should have been arguing that the interest starts accruing from the day of the payment certificate becomes valid. So the interest that we're talking about now starts from the day of the award on a general claim. But if it's an outstanding debt that's been owed for some time, say like a paid invoice or something, then that interest has been accrued since then, and that interest will be dictated by the contract.
And since the payment certificate, or from the 60 days or the time frame they had to release the money?
It comes due.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, so it's either the day when they sign the payment certificate or the 60 days, depending on what it says in the contract.